Hi, my name is Alexis Stark. This is my week 2 presentation for EDU 730. Lexington R5 School District is located in Lafayette County, Missouri, approximately an hour east of Kansas City along the Missouri River. The mission of the district is together, the Lexington R5 School District will teach, reach, and challenge all students every day to be college and career ready. There's one high school, one middle school, one elementary school, and an administrative center. The district has just under 1,000 students, of which 46.2% are free and reduced lunch eligible, and nearly 80% are white. The expenditure per pupil rate is $10,611. 18.4% of Lexington R5 students score proficient or advanced on the mathematics assessment, and 23.6% score proficient or advanced on the English language arts assessment. Let's take a look at Lexington R5 through the lens of Marzano's highly reliable schools in an interview with Assistant Superintendent Elizabeth Faegre. Leadership strategies used to implement effective educational systems include setting directions, developing people, redesigning the organization, and managing the instructional program. In my conversation with Assistant Superintendent Faegre, a big emphasis was on managing the instructional program.
We have looked at our created assessments, really truly looking at priority standards and students' understanding of the standard of our essential skills. We are doing things like breaking apart standards and talking about what that means, ensuring that we're covering priority standards at a high level because we know. So one of our main focuses this year has been on cognitive engagement. And what does that really look like? We've also worked on teaching bell to bell because we understand the importance of every single instructional moment that we have with kids in person. We found a real lack of resources. So with that, our teachers have been pulling from Teachers Pay Teachers or Super Teacher Worksheets or whatever's cheap and easy. Not that we are working really hard with our instructional coaches, with our more focused approach to what we're doing with our time and maximizing the time that we have with students. We're being more.
Another leadership strategy discussed by Assistant Superintendent Faegre was developing people.
We had like 33 new teachers this year. And so we took our vertical team time and really made it like building level time or content time to allow for that extended collaboration. But we were really working on like basic compliance, basic fundamentals of teaching, classroom management 101, behavior management 101, lesson planning 101, classroom data, the informal data that we take more regularly now because we're looking at data in a different way, which had to be taught, but just as much as our kids need champions, our teachers do too. So who's going to be the champion in their corner when days are hard? And how do I develop a support system within my district that encourages that to be our culture?
The next area discussed by Ms. Faegre is redesigning the organization.
So we've really gone back to the basics this year in every area. Like, what does education look like here for us now that we've also at every single building level built in time for intervention this year? This year we worked really, really hard on tier 1 interventions and developed our problem solving teams as much as possible, which
The last area discussed with Ms. Faegre was setting directions, and it is clear she is very passionate about making sure she leads the way to do what's best for students at Lexington R5.
and so essentially knowing that many of the jobs that our students will have haven't even been created yet. How do we teach them to think outside the box and solve problems and become? I will say that we have learned a lot about where we are and where we want to be and what goals we want to set moving into like year 2 of our reset, essentially. We've seen growth. And when you look at every grade level, we're seeing growth. When you look at individual students, more than not are growing in that regard. So one thing that I always say is, are we better today than we were yesterday? If we are, then that's a win.
Let's hear some final thoughts on effective systems from Miss Fakery. So, would you say that you have effective systems within the district? And what are those effective systems?
I would say we have worked ridiculously hard this year to implement processes and support systems for students that are different from what we've always done.
Overall, I believe that Lexington R5 is really still at that level one in the hierarchy of high reliability schools. But they're a strong level one. The faculty, staff, students, parents, and community all perceive the school as being a safe and orderly environment. There is some growth opportunity with defining those formal roles for teachers, as well as students, parents, and community, having ways to provide input. However, Ms. Fagery really identified that the success of the whole school, as well as individuals, is really acknowledged, and she really makes sure that she catches people doing the right thing. The other piece of the fiscal, operational, and technological resources of the school wasn't really touched on during our interview. Looking at effective teaching in every classroom, they really do start to hit certain points of this. Um, the school leaders are communicating a clear vision for how instruction should look in the classroom, and that was really identified by Ms. Fakery when she talked about going back to basics.